Widely considered to be one of the greatest warriors of his era and a legend for his efforts in the dueling ring of Taris, the rise of Bendak Starkiller is a relatively tragic one. The Starkiller designation would come only later in life, as the famed gladiator was born roughly 4,000 years before the Clone War as Gorse Bendak. Echoing the early beginnings of Darth Bane on the planet of Apatros, Bendak was born into a family with a long history within the difficult mining trade, and like his forefathers before him, Bendak traveled the Outer Rim from worksite to worksite. However, it would be his position on the mining colony of Vanquo in the Outer Rim that would bring Bendak into contact with the Mandalorians. As the Mandalorians caught the Republic unprepared for their invasion of the galaxy, Bendak would find himself deep within the planet's mines as the battle raged above him. Only as the Mandalorians emerged victorious, Bendak wasn't ready to immediately turn himself over and surrender. Instead, he courageously remained within the mining shafts and defended himself, using only his mining tools to mount his improbable defense. After 12 Mandalorians and 2 weeks were needed to break Bendak's impressive efforts, he was finally captured by the Mandalorian invaders. However, Bendak's feats weren't easily dismissed by the warrior-respecting ways of the Mandalorians. As his abilities were clearly established, the Mandalorians immediately offered Bendak a chance to join their ranks. Bendak was no fool and understood the true circumstances of the offer, and seeing no alternative in slavery at the hands of the Mandalorians, he instead agreed to join them. This was the beginning of the path that would see Bendak rise to become a galactic legend. He was recruited into the ranks of the Mandalorian Neo Crusaders, an order that arose after the Great Sith War of Exar Kun and Mandalore the Indomitable, as a means in which to wage the Mandalorian Wars. Bendak's career with the Neo Crusaders was relatively brief, but it was here where he was trained in warfare and weaponry, and due to his natural fighting abilities, he would eventually rise to the rank of Field Marshal. However, Bendak's life would again completely change when the Mandalorians were defeated by Revan and his followers in the Mandalorian Wars. When Revan emerged victorious in the final climactic battle of the war, known as the Battle of Malachor V, the Mandalorians were decimated, and their surrender resulted in the disarmament and fragmentation of the Mandalorians. This stripped Bendak of the position he dedicated his life to over the previous 2 years, and forced him to find a new path and career. Fortunately, Bendak would utilize his skills as a bounty hunter, quickly earning respect for his talents in this regard. And yet, even that wasn't meant to last. In having accidentally killed the daughter of an influential nobleman, Bendak found his situation had reversed, as he was now the one to have an enormous bounty placed upon his head. Just as in the aftermath of the Mandalorian Wars, Bendak found himself without a viable path and unable to work. It was at this point that Bendak would reach out to one of his last remaining reliable contacts, Ajuur the Hutt, who operated on Taris, and who Bendak befriended during his employment as a bounty hunter. After meeting with Ajuur, the Hutt had a plan that Bendak least expected. The former Mandalorian Neo Crusader should enter the gladiatorial rings of Taris, where Bendak could truly make use of his skills for combat. But given the foresight of Ajuur, the plan went even further. Despite the fact that Mandalorians were hated on Taris due to their actions in the previous galactic war, the Hutt convinced Bendak to again adopt his former Neo Crusader armor, and when they added the title Starkiller to his stage name, all of the elements were in place for his ascension within the Taris dueling ring. Bendak Starkiller would become beloved by the citizens of Taris, a sensation that attracted audiences who attended to bet on him, as well as to take in the spectacle of Starkiller killing dozens of duelists who attempted to test the warrior in death matches. Starkiller would face hardship when the Sith would confront him on Taris and ban the death matches he was famous for, jealous of a non-Sith gaining the adoration of the planet they came to control. And yet, at least for this moment, Bendak Starkiller had found his calling within the galaxy, beloved by the citizens of Taris as he emerged as its greatest warrior. Thank you very much for the support here on the channel, everyone, and for letting me know that you'd like to see more videos focusing on Star Wars lore featuring characters and events from the video games. Over the next few weeks, I have a number of videos planned for the upcoming game Jedi Fallen Order, as well as The Force Unleashed, which will be released alongside gameplay footage and a number of other KOTOR related videos, so I hope that you all enjoy them. Thank you very much for watching, everyone, and as always, may the Force be with you.